Kiratawayam nurakite utturayasam tarakaha yannokur ipam yesete yakura yatema yatuaki yannosu yatiraka yaturake yamatu yiwae. Decoding vibrations. Today we're going to look at the nature of this reality and the nature of what we call reality and the nature of what is appearing and disappearing and reappearing and inventing and reinventing itself. So namaste, welcome everyone. This is day number 305 of 365, A Life of Bliss 365, one quote every day from the book A Life of Bliss, the Living Transmission, channel through this one, from our dear non-physical friends and teachers Ananda, here to assist us, humanity, in remembering who we are and why we are here. Today we are decoding vibration. So there's a very interesting look today at the physical reality and what is appearing and how that is seen by non-physical beings. So if you're watching live, we are starting a little experiment now with the new technology. I tried yesterday to do a live thing, but I'm a little bit better prepared now. So if you would like to join us on Zoom, and after we do the quote, you are very welcome to come in and join us, ask some questions, share. You can join there, and the link will be posted in the comments wherever you are watching this. So I'm going to post it on Facebook and on YouTube. So we're just going to go on there to do that now. And it's the same link from yesterday if you've seen it. And let's see if we can do it from here. I think we can. We cannot, so I have to download this. So yeah, you can check it on the Facebook page, and then you can join in the Zoom room where it should allow me to paste, but it's not. Fun. So we'll just wait for a few people to join. And if you're joining live and you've got the Zoom link, if you could please post it in the comments too, that would be very helpful on whatever platform you're joining, just while this lets me get on. So I'm just going to go over there. Okay, it's posted there. Now we can go through. So just bear with me while we share. There will be a faster way of doing this, and this one will find it. Optimization. Okay, I'm going to get it on to post on the comments on YouTube as well, because we're not getting comments coming in, so we could do with your help on that. If you can do it. Let's see, live, there we go. Should let me in now to do the comment, please. Yes, there we go. Okay. Okay, so it should be posted. No, it's not letting you do that as well. How exciting. Let's get rid of all that text because the text is too long. One moment. Bear with me, please. Let's see if anyone's made it into the Zoom room. So check the comments on Facebook. I'm still in the process of getting it onto YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. Okay. Yes, and the comments are not appearing here for me, unfortunately. as they normally would. Okay, so it's there on YouTube, it's there on Facebook. If you want to join in the Zoom room, you can check it out on that link, and we'll get a better way. It's going to be the same link every day. I'll get it set up so it's easier to get in there. Okay, so let's get into the quote. If you're joining live, please put in the comments, say hello. If you're joining on replay, let us know you are a cosmic time traveler in this now, and we shall get right into the quote for day 305. So we've moved into chapter 25. Is it 25 or 24? It's a new chapter. I think we've moved into chapter 24. As these living words rise up to meet you, we wish to remind you of that which is happening in this process. There is a decoding that is happening within your physicality that is drawing forth a vibration within a physicalized reality into a non-physicalized reality. The rising of these living words are not only interpreted by your eyes, but are interpreted and integrated in your being in a vibrational nature. So all that you see and all that you feel is a translation of vibration. Your vibrational nature is determined by that which you focus upon, by that which you offer your attention to, by whom you spend your vibrational time with, and how you choose to be in your interactions of your life. Yet, all is simply vibration being translated from non-physical into physical and back to non-physical. And so this energy of source I am, God, universal energy, whatever you wish to call it, is a non-physicalized, non-localized, non-individualized, it's not an individual energy, it's just the one energy that is. And what we are seeing and perceiving as one individuation of that energy is a translation or a decoding of that same self-vibration, the same vibration that creates universes and worlds, drawn into a myopic view that we call individual, we call person, we call woman, man, idea. It's taking that non-physical energy, bringing it into a physicalized reality so it can reflect back to itself and look at itself and contemplate itself. And then that's translated, that energy, through your body, through your being, through your physicality, through your emotions, into feeling, sense perceptions, ideas, thoughts. And then that's retranslated, and whatever the opposite of decoded is, back to non-physical energy. So it's just a cycling of non-physical energy appearing in physical and physicalized reality, coming back to its home of non-physical reality. It's just a cycling back, and this physicalized reality is actually the illusion, but it's a cycling of energy. And the reason that they're sharing this in the book and this chapter is to begin to really conceptualize in a way that's tangible. When we say we are one, it's not just some fancy, fluffy, spiritual term. It's not just some idea that sounds good. It's beyond comprehension. It is only oneness. There is only oneness. Oneness is all there is. And it's always just cycling back upon itself and cycling and appearing as a tree and appearing as this one, appearing as whatever is appearing. But it's the same self-energy. It's appearing as war. It's appearing as peace. It's appearing as enemies. It's appearing as friends. It's appearing as lovers. It's appearing as soil. It's appearing as trees. It's appearing as universes. It's appearing as cycles. It's just the one energy that continues to recycle itself and reinvigorate itself and recontemplate itself through the means of physicality and through the means of non-physicality, like quasi-physical beings, like non-physical beings, like Ananda. They don't take form, but they're still the same non-physical energy that we are made of and everything made of and everything has its being in. They just don't take form to individualize in a sense, and they're much less They're not individualized, actually. They're a collective consciousness. So it's to really conceptualize, contextualize, and concretize this saying, we are one, is not just a fluffy platitude. It's not just some far out idea. It's not some happy thing. I don't know why I say happy. It's the only truth. It's the actuality of all it is. All that is you, and you have your being in all that is. Now, the egoic structure that wants to either separate itself from that, or it wants to own it as an individual. That's the two polarities of it. So in one way it'll say, no way, I can't be one, it'll come up with all of the excuses, and it wants to separate itself. It uses its separate reality to differentiate itself. And then in the spiritual ego sense, then it wants to define itself as all that is. This is the tricky one. This is where language falls down, because we are the all that is, but as a localized definition, as this focus of reality that we call human, or any other form that we choose to take, we are but one part of that all that is. That part of all that is in us, but as we focus and as we have our being and as we have our experiences, we are not the totality of all that is. We are in the all that is as a part of all that is. And the egoic self in the separation-based sense wants to separate itself. There's separate pieces, I'm separate from my source, I have to get, I have to take, I have to make happen. And then the spiritual ego wants to own everything and be everything. And paradoxically, it is everything, but it's just an individualized, localized, triangulated version of spirit that appears as body, appears as extraterrestrial bodies, it appears as light bodies, all of these things. So it's important to bring this back into something that's tangible, something that's real, something that we can conceptualize in our mind. As limited as that is, there's still limitations to that. But if we can bring it into a way that takes it from this very etheric, non-physical concept into something tangible, that this energy is all there is. And that energy is called many names. None of them are what it really is, because what it really is has no name. We call it God, universal energy, source. All of these are just approximations to name the nameless. But if we can begin to come into the mastery of mind, the mastery of the body, the mastery of one's own being, one's soul self will reveal itself through the transmutation of the distortions that have been handed down, that have been inherited by the divine human who has gotten lost in the Maya. So when one knows oneself through thy sacred body, when one knows oneself through the mastery of one's mind, one's soul self reveals itself, one's higher self remembers itself while playing a role that seems to be other than itself, that seems to be separate from itself, that seems to be lesser than itself. This is the gift, this is the mastery. And this is what those who have ears to hear and eyes to see and hearts to feel are being called to. The mastery of self, the mastery of one's own self. No longer looking to any outer self, no longer looking to any outer circumstance, no longer needing to try to change any condition or effect that appears in the carnal world. One is becoming aware of one's self, one's God self, one's Christ self, one's true self, the one self, the only self that is. But the barrier, so to speak, is one's body and one's mind and one's emotional responses to the playing out of one's mind and one's body. These are both the gift and the challenge for the divine human. But those who are called to mastery now are being called ever more deeply to set aside foolish things, to set aside that which distracts, that which divides, that which holds you in want, that which holds you in the cycle of desire and cycle of reincarnation, to play out the illusion of karma, to play out this illusion that is kept cycling, cycling and cycling within itself. We are not saying that karma and its experiences are not experienced as real. They very much are from this level of consciousness. But dear master beings of light, dear divine humans, you have come here to transcend that which is the cycle of karma and rebirth and reincarnation. You have played out these roles. You have worn out these cycles. You have dove to the depths. Now it is time to rise again and remember, to rise again and remember, to rise again and remember who you are, why you are here, why have you come? Have you come to continue this cycle? Have you come to repeat the patterns? Have you come to get stuck in your old conditioning that has kept you in body after body after body, that has kept you in want, that has kept you in fear? You are being called now to that which is beyond fear, to that which is beyond the cycles, to that which is beyond the repetition, save the repetition of the holy name I am that I am. I am that I am, and the I am that I am knows itself here and now, forevermore, eternally and infinitely, and so it is. So this is the contemplation for day number 305, and this one we'll need to listen back to that. And as always now, we are invited to drop into a short sacred silence where we drop everything, including the transmission that was just received. Drop the idea you have of yourself, drop all the ideas of past or future, even the idea of present. Drop the idea of awakening, ascension, remembering. Drop the idea of even the personal identity. Drop the idea of purpose or mission. Drop the idea of special being status or hierarchy. You're invited now to drop everything as we move into a short sacred silence, as we allow what is to be what is, as what is. So thank you for joining. We are opening up this Zoom womb if you'd like to join us in the Zoom room, you can check out the link in the comments. And I think I see Anameta has joined there. And what we're going to do, hello, sister. So I'm going to see how I do this because I can't remember. If you would like to come on, firstly, would you like to come on and speak? Just nod if you do, because I need to work out just how to do this. I haven't got this far yet. So just let me know if you'd like to come on and chat, share. I'm thinking. So there should be a little way now that I bring you on. So if you're watching on one of the other platforms and you want to join the Zoom, hit the link there while I work out how I do this. So I think if I do that and that, we should have, yes, look at that. If it works. Namaste, sister, hello.
Why am I twice now, Martin?
Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, and I know why that is. That is very annoying. Okay. Sorry, it's on my end, Anameta. Because this mic is connected through there, I can't hear your voice. So I'm going to have to try something, and this might mess everything up, but I'm going to try it anyway. So I'm going to try to take this out. I should be able to hear you, and you should be able to hear me. Let's see if it works.
Can I say something now?
There we go. Hello. I think it would be on my side. Hello.
But why am I twice on the screen? I see myself in double.
Oh, you're on triple, maybe, are you? You're multi-dimensional. You're multi-dimensional. Let's see.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Oh, maybe it's because we got the Zoom screen as well. There's only the two. It's just the top one. So there we are. We're all good. It's working. It's working. So on day 2, how are you being?
I am under construction.
I
am under construction and deconstruction at the same time.
Absolutely, same as me. Complete deconstruction and rebuild. Wow, that's very apt. Yes, me too. It's good.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I'm still looking for moving house, but I don't know what's happening. There's no opening yet. But I have been thinking of you lots of times, opening to all possibilities.
Ah, nice. Yes, yes. All possibilities everywhere, everywhere, and every high and every day.
But I find it hard to not hard to navigate, but I feel so different. So the way I would navigate before to manifest a new place, it's like not the way I manifest now. So I'm like, okay, how do I do it then?
The answer,
But it's
the answer is we don't. For me anyway, I'll just share my perspective because I totally feel what you're sharing and I've experienced the same. The feeling we are not the manifester. It's like what came in the quote here. There is only the one energy and it is manifesting itself. It just looks like we're doing things. We do have free will to experience that in whatever way we so choose. And that's where we have the choice. So we are not the manifestors. We are the ones that witness the manifestations and get to choose which one of the manifestations that we are going to focus on now. So all the versions of every house that you could ever move into already exist here and now. And whichever one you so choose is open whenever you focus on it. But it's not like we have to make it happen. We just have to make ourselves
that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, we have to make ourselves open and welcome to all the possibilities, and whatever your actions, your words, your thoughts, your feelings, that version will reveal itself in perfect and divine timing. That's the challenging part.
Thank you, because I never got it. Like, this really makes logical sense to me.
It's good when we get logic with multidimensionality too, yeah?
Yeah.
Some people would not call it logical, but there is logic.
But it's logical for the heart and for the soul, but it's not logical for the mind.
Of course. The mind hates this.
Yeah.
They grab onto it. And even in spiritual circles and, these create your reality ideas, it's been kind of like twist. It's not twisted. It's true. It's just in a sense it's been misunderstood, that we create our version of a reality that's already there by our focus, by our attention, by where we look, by how we speak, but what we're giving our energy to, we make it revealed. I always get given this example about how, like, to make it logical and tangible, is I think it's Michelangelo. I never know if I'm getting this right. Michelangelo that carved the David. It's like a statue, and so
Mm-hmm.
a big rough hewn rock. There's just a big piece of rock, and it's just a rough rock. And he, or any sculptor or artist, I know you're artist as well, and artist of the forest, artist of the fairies, artist of the fae, artist of the netherworlds. They take away everything that's not. They said, how did you do this? And he said, I just took away everything that wasn't the David. So he just chipped away, chipped away, chipped away, and the David was revealed. But if you think about that rock before he ever got to it, or any sculptor, any artist, that David already exists in its wholeness in there, but he revealed it by chipping away. And what we do is chip away our mind, our conditioning, our beliefs, our idea that I'm the one that's making this happen. Slightly falls down there because he was physically chipping away. But the analogy is like that it already exists. We just reveal
Yeah.
it by our attention, by our focus upon it. So what is it? What is calling you? Everything's new in deconstruction and reconstruction, but what's calling you rather than the physical space? What's the energy or the idea that's calling you? A new start, a different. What is it?
You mean what
When
do
you
I want to manifest, or
when you're
what
thinking
do I want to match?
when you're
What do I
talking
want to
Yeah, when you're talking about a new home, what's the energy underneath that? What's the calling of energy rather than the location or the physical manifestation?
The energy is being totally immersed in nature
Yeah,
in a spot that really vibrates with me.
yes. Well, I was already seeing you that. I see you in forests and like just completely. You have this very deep connection with inner earth. I always see as well.
Yeah. But I don't know where it is. It has been going on for 2 or 3 years, and I don't know where that place is. It's just like,
Well, you do. It's inside you. So it's just whatever door you wish to open within you today, then you can explore that. And then tomorrow you can explore something else. So open up the part of you within you, because it's not outside you, because there is no outside of you. The part of you that wants to immerse so deeply in one's own nature. So when you immerse yourself in the totality of your nature, is like you just swim in your beingness, the outer manifestations of that. So there are for all of us some doors that we've closed off to our beingness, that we don't go in there, and that and the outer world manifests as something not coming at the right time. So if you immerse yourself and swim in your beingness and just dissolve yourself into your beingness, into yourself, and let the doors fall open, let the opportunities present themselves, and take out any effort or striving or seeking, and just melt into yourself, and that will, use that word anyway, manifest in the reality that which is the deeper part of the immersion into yourself, and that will be a outer manifestation of a deep, deep connection to your outer environment, which is nature and everything. Melt, melt.
I always thought I melted, but not enough.
And
Did you get the audio that I sent you to thank you for the when Elena had to make that choice years ago? Did
oh
you get
my
that one?
God. If it wasn't 3 seconds ago, I don't remember. I am not joking. I was posting.
Okay. No, I just wondered
Literally, I
because you
hear
didn't respond with nor a thumbs up nor a heart. It was to thank you for when you know, when Elena, we couldn't choose her schools, you said, don't choose between A and B, open up.
Okay.
And she just finished. She's out of school, she's out of the matrix. And I
Oh
just wanted
wow!
to,
Oh,
and
amazing.
what I said to you was thank you for that time because you were really the one helping us finding the school.
Well, thank you, thank you. It's us collaborating, collaborating
Yeah.
together. So, oh, thank you. That's beautiful. Yeah, oh my God, I have no idea how many things there are like that, that I have lot. But yeah, always in the heart. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. And you know, as always, as you've been, everything that is shared through me is for me as well, because I need to hear most of the things that come through as well. So I appreciate that. And yeah, it, like you just saying that now opened up something for me.
Mm.
I've been looking at something in a very A and B fashion, and you've just opened it up for me now, where like,
Oh,
you know, A and B. Well, what's A and B is just like one. It's just two choices out of infinite. But it does be A and B if we limit it to that. And so you've opened that up for me. So thank you.
welcome.
Amazing, beautiful. Thank you, sister. Oh, I see you doubled up now. You are very multidimensional.
Yeah, I doubled up. That's what you actually sent the Zoom link to a third part, it said,
Yeah.
and then I clicked on got it, and then I got double.
I have no, like, I'm literally doing this for the first time. And as I say, like this memory thing, I literally have zero, like, memory is like just, it's like just moment now. I mean, there's
It's
not,
no worry. I'm just double, that's all.
you're showing your true self. You're immersing into your multidimensional self. Thank you, sister. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. Okay, so now what do I do? Okay, so
Oh
let.
yeah, now I'm back to one.
Okay, it must be when I put you on the screen there. So let me
Okay.
see now. Is there anyone
Kevin is here.
in the Zoom room? Let's see. Kevin, brother, Kevin Bolin. Oh my God, amazing. So how? Right. Let me see. I think I should just do the same thing then. Do you want to come on? Do you want to come on and speak to us, Kevin?
Sure.
Amazing. Hello, brother. Now let me see. This should just put you on there, hopefully. Come on, do it. There we go. Hey, brother. How are you
How
being?
are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Is the sound always working okay?
Yeah.
Amazing. How you doing? How are you being?
Busy.
Yeah?
Yeah. How you been?
I can't even say. I don't know. I don't know how to say. Good. Very good. Good'll do. Good'll do. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
being. Just pure being. Just pure being.
Are you still over in where are you? Portugal, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
For the last, what month? July. So next month, we will be 1 year where we've been living in a, what you would call over there, uh, RV, or I like to call a recreation vehicle. So last August we moved into that, but we're still in Portugal, and we're now in this kind of foresty camp place for the last, I don't know how many months now. So yeah, we've been mobile, but still here. Yeah, and you still
Yeah. I mean,
dancing around the mountains?
I'm sorry.
Still dancing around the mountains?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not every day, because what's a day?
Who knows? I have no idea. That's what I was saying earlier. If I don't have evidence of this morning, it just like is. If I have nothing to remind me, we do like a gratitude practice, the three of us, my wife and my son, every night, and I'm finding it more and more challenging to not remember things that I'm grateful for. They kind of stick, but just having an idea: was that today? Was that 10 years ago? It's like trying to pick things out. It's like memories going away, but
Yeah.
everything's,
I mean, that's normal.
yeah,
You
natural.
know, um, time is just there and it's forever, and trying to I mean, it takes a while, right, to integrate that whole idea of your mind just kind of going quiet. It's like you pick the needle off the record, in the old days when they had actual records, right? You just like hitting pause, and there's no inner monologue or no inner dialogue, right? There's this Most people walking around, right, and they have this broken record in their head, right, where they're hearing basically, you know, their own self in a sense, projecting into the future, or reaching back into the past.
Mhm.
And that's gone. It doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is now, truthfully. I mean, you can't really have a job though with that, so you have to kind of have a watch, right? So, but at the end of the day, it's just that peace, that inner quiet that everybody is looking for. It takes a while for that to be integrated.
I have that from time to time. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I think when me and Martin talked before, about what I went through 30 years ago. I can remember the exact date and time that that happened, right? So, and it was interesting the way it happened, but
I can remember the way it happened. I can tell the story.
yeah, well, for me, it was interesting because at the time, I was a police officer, and my best friend at the time, who he was a meditator, TM for years, and he actually went to school at the TM University. But I can remember, for years he tried to get me to meditate, and I'm like, I don't need that. I don't need to meditate. And I came from a background of being a police officer and in the Marine Corps, so obviously, I was dealing with a lot of stuff. I had, at the time, I think I had PTSD too, just because of all the stuff I've been through and all the stuff I've seen. But I can remember, learning to meditate, and what happened to me was just, I couldn't even explain it. And every time I would go to my friend and say, what have you done to me? What's happened to me? Right. He'd just look at me and he'd say, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Right. And then he'd give me some kind of task to do. He'd say, like, look up in the corner of the room and just allow yourself to be there looking back at yourself. Right. Those sorts of things. And I remember the thing I shared with Martin was when we used to go to this place, and it was actually in Westport, Connecticut. It was called Arnie's Place, and it was a ice cream parlor slash arcade kind of place. But it was super, super crowded, like people everywhere. We're sitting at a table, and he's sitting across the table from me, and all of a sudden I felt like I was going to die, like I was having a heart attack. And he just looks at me and he says, repeat after me. Right. And at that point, there was a bubble kind of formed around me, and I was terrified. Granted, I'm a cop, right? So I'm like, I got a gun, on me. I'm in plain clothes, and I'm crying, and nobody around me knows what's happening. It's like we're in this bubble. And the immediate thought when he said, repeat after me, the first thought I had, because I had been raised a Catholic, the thought in my head, I didn't say it verbally. I'm thinking, you're the devil, and whatever you're trying to get me to do, I'm not going to do it. And the analogy I like to think of is standing on the end of a diving board, and you're surrounded by blackness, right? And you're given the opportunity to jump, but you can't take you with you when you do, right? And the thought that ran through my head at the time was, I'm making a choice, right? At that time, right? God can't be both unconditional love, unbounded love, and at the same time be punishment. The two don't coexist together, which is the beginning of this dualistic cycle that we all live in, that people go around and around and around and around. And the words that he said for me to repeat were, I am that, thou art that, all this is that. Tat samasi. And the minute I said it, the reaction was instantaneous, right? I literally just like expanded, like if you watch the star explode, and my mind went completely quiet. And I looked at him and I said, why me? And he said, grace. And I said, does everybody get this? And he said, when they're ready. And then I saw these two beings pop in on each side of him, right? And they gave me the opportunity to leave. They said, you can stay here or you can go. And the thought that ran through my mind was, I can't go anywhere, because until everybody has this, nobody's free. Now, it didn't make any sense to me at the time, because my mind was still kind of dealing with the second before, where I was just this, and the second after, where I was that. And that's the part that's really interesting, is because over 30 years of living in this alternate reality where you realize that you literally are everything everywhere, right? That's the thing that prevents us from actually moving forward, is that we are stuck in this stuck in this reality where we think that this is what we are. And until we become integrated, right? And I think back, right, before I had that happen to me, I would fall asleep at night. My body would be asleep, but consciously I would still be awake. And I can remember not eating for several months. Everywhere I looked, I saw the color violet on everything. And this is the time when I would go to my friend and say, I'm going crazy. Something's right happening to me, and I couldn't talk to anybody about it because I was a police officer. Nobody would understand. Everybody would think I was crazy. But ultimately, one of the things that I found over the years when I'm working with people is I always use this analogy of three. And if you look at all religions, right, it doesn't matter if it's the Egyptian religion, it doesn't matter if it's Buddhism, it doesn't matter if it's Christianity. They all have this three, right? In Christianity, it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In Buddhism, it's completely different. And in Egypt, it's completely different. But the analogy is, right, most people walk around thinking that things happen to them. There's the observe and there's the observer. In other words, I am observing that, and it is separate from me, right? Or that is happening to me, or my arm hurts, but I'm saying my arm hurts, but I know I'm not the arm. I'm a totality, which is much more. It isn't until we bring this third perspective in, which I like to call witness consciousness, where we have this experience where we walk around in a reality. We're still playing the game of observed and observer, but at the same time, we also have this third party perspective, watching ourselves do it. Right. And that's when everything changes. Right. Once we have this analogy where we're up in the corner of the room looking back at ourselves, or we have a thought and we're here, but we're also in another location at the same time. When that happens, that witness consciousness, right, we have the ability to make a choice. And I always say, because people say I go into deep meditation and I don't exist. There just is, I just am, right? There's just pure isness, right? And it isn't until they come back out of meditation that they say, I experienced that, right? They come back out of meditation and say, I experienced that. Instead of while in meditation saying, I am that experienced. That's the moment they're standing on the diving board. Like Christ said, you have to find yourself, you have to lose yourself. This is a jump that requires us to not, or, requires us to deal with the possibility of not existing. And that's why it's a leap born of faith and not belief. Right? Because most people are not willing to give something up until they know what they're going to get in return. Right? We think that somebody else is giving this to us. And grace is that which we give ourselves. But we need a mirror to help us. We get to a point where they have to have enough faith and trust that when they jump, it's going to be okay. Right? Most people jump in small bits.
Yeah, I'm facing that. I want to give notice, and I have prepared my notice, and then I get so much fear frequencies in my body, like I get so stressed, and it's not a conscious fear because I can talk myself out of all the fears, but they're still there. And then I'm like, do I do it anyways, or do I respect the fear? When do you really jump? Like,
well, like my friend said, you jump when you're ready.
yeah, well, I'm not quite ready. I think I'm 2% yet, and then I'll jump.
2% to go, or 2% there?
Yeah.
Oh, 2% to go. Okay.
Yeah, 2% to go. I'm very close. I can feel it. Thanks for that, Kevin.
There's no hurry because you are.
Yeah, I know, but
there's no timeline because you are forever.
Yeah, but Martin knows my house historic.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to obviously not put any pressure on you. You know, I'm just sharing a story,
Yeah, I know.
the reason I popped in was just basically to say hi to Martin because I
Yeah.
haven't had a conversation with him in a while.
I've
So
had a
I had
conversation
a
with
long,
anyone for ever, so it's amazing for me as well. It's amazing.
Have you guys had, I had a weird experience. It was so fun. I went to a concert where a friend of mine who is a musician was going, and I just asked straight away, yeah, I come with you. And it was far up in the mountains, and there were four musicians playing and they were channeling music at the same time. Like they didn't know each other. They were totally put together. And it was so beautiful, but there was this young guy, he was really beautiful. And I thought I'll go talk to him. And then I talked to him, and everything we said, everything we did was as if I had already talked to him 2 days ago, like the same scene. And then he co-worked with a guy from Bosnia. And then he introduced me to him. And it was the same with him, like, but why are you guys here? We just talked in that other dimension. It's like, what is going on?
yeah, I mean, it doesn't really even get interesting until you're here and you're also in 50 different places at the same time.
Yeah, but it was so weird because it was as if we had already talked.
You
Well,
did?
you had,
You did?
because all timelines and all possibilities
Oh
are
my
not
gosh.
happening sequentially, they're all happening at the same time. You have the ability to choose which one you want to be part of,
Yeah.
and that's why they call it deja vu, but you know, it's all just one thing. And wherever you choose to whatever lens you choose to look through, and you know, because we all have these lenses that we're looking through, kind of like a telescope, right? We look through this little hole, and then we see out there and we believe that to be it,
Yeah, but
right?
it was nearly as if I had the screen when I talked to them, and I just talked to them 2 days ago on the screen over here. It was really,
Yeah.
I never had that before. It was the first time of that one.
Amazing.
Well, I mean, you know, it's happening more and more, I think, um,
Mm.
to people, and there's a reason for that, that it's happening because it needs to happen,
Yeah.
right? We kind of live in a world that's I don't want to call it, I sometimes I joke and I call it a prison planet, but ultimately, you know, it's not that we're on a prison planet. It's actually we're on all planets. We are literally I mean, I can't say that any more clearly. We literally are everything everywhere. Right now, whether we choose to experience it or not depends on the lens that we choose to look through, and if we choose to remove the filters that we created for the lens that we're looking through. Because most people look through a lens and then they have all these filters they lay over the top: belief, past, future, all these things. And that's what they believe to be reality. And really, right, this is just about removing the filters and then expanding the lens until you no longer need it.
Mm.
You only need a lens when you're looking from observed and observer. That's happening to me, but it's still separate from me, right? When you let go of the lens, all of a sudden you just are everything everywhere,
Yeah,
right?
but where, how do you then choose how to navigate?
So here's the other thing. Maybe this is important to mention. The other thing is when you jump and when you let go of the lens, there is no you.
Yeah, but how do you choose, for example, which new car you would get, which I'm just taking an example. I don't care what car I have, but how do you choose what clothes to wear? How, if there is no
It's
you?
the same way you choose now. It's just that you have more choices because you have more clarity,
Oh, okay.
right? It's not like you go away. It's not like, you know, if you choose to not be in the physical anymore, that's your choice. But if you still want to be in the physical, you're it's like you're not allowing somebody else to steer your bus anymore. The bus is just on autopilot, right? And the things that you need, that you truly need, will come to you in life. The stupid stuff that people want, more money, big cars, fast cars, all that stupid shit, doesn't matter because you no longer live for yourself. You live for others. And those others you live for are just you. They're not
Oh,
separate from you, right? They're not separate at all. My hope is, with all the craziness going on in the world, that pretty soon the world will be a different place, and I think that's going to happen. But just be kind to yourself. I always tell people, if they don't know love, then go give it, because it'll teach you what it looks like, right?
yeah.
If you seek something in life, there's nothing that can be added to you that you don't already have, right? Everything out there, you can play with it, you can have a hobby, you can get interested in stuff, but it doesn't own you, right? It's not tied to you. If it was removed tomorrow, nothing changes. You still have the ability to play. And the most beautiful play is to watch somebody else become a better version of themselves, right?
Hmm.
It's the greatest gift that you can help somebody else find, right? But they're going to find it their own way. But it's the greatest gift that you can give to somebody else, is to be able to help them get to that point where they jump. And that's it.
So see that friend? Are you still? Do you still see him? Is he around? What's that friend?
Do I have friends?
No, that friend. The friend in the. I was imagining like this diner and you in this like wee cubicle. You know the friend that did the repeat after me.
My friend left the physical.
Long after that, or
Yeah, I mean, quite a bit after that, probably 5, 6 years after that.
so
And
what?
he actually called me, and I spoke to him the day before he left. And he said, "I'm out of here tomorrow at 12:15. I'm leaving."
That's what I was
Wow.
wanting to ask. What was your conversations with this guy? Because this is obviously like incredible, like darshan or whatever you want to call it that you received. I was wondering what your conversations, because we talked about this before, and I remember I had it visualized, and I remembered everything except the tat, that little tat is connected with Egypt. I didn't know the second word. Tat. What was it? After the I am that
Oh, um,
tat,
um,
something with
I'm
S.
probably actually saying it wrong, but hang on.
But no, it's 30 years ago, and there's no you to remember it. But I was wondering what your conversations with this friend was like after that non-happening to no one in the arcade.
Well, um, so yeah, so there really wasn't a need for any conversations at that point.
It was done.
Well, I
Complete.
mean, it's not something you can miss, right? And it doesn't make you any better. It doesn't make you, matter of fact, it's very humbling, right? The mantle to go through that door, I always say God is, pointing his finger straight into the abyss, right? And that doesn't mean it's a bad place. It just means that it's like a black hole. We can't see past the event horizon. But to pass through into the event horizon, you can't take you with you, right? It's just because you can't assimilate that type of experience when you have all these parameters and this lens that's very constrained that you're looking through. In order to see it, in order to experience it, right? It doesn't require an explanation. It doesn't require knowledge, right? There's a difference between wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is just knowing something, and wisdom is knowing when to apply it or not to apply it, or how to apply it, right? So imagine, right, you all of a sudden, 1 second you're this, and the next second you're that, and you're in this unlimited um space where all potentiality is there. Right now, the problem is that we think we need to keep putting on these disguises, right? That the more books we read, the more things we listen to, the more things we try to move in the direction of, we're going to acquire that and become that, right? And the truth is, that'll never happen because we already are that. You can't become something you already are, right? It's just that we're not aware of it. You know, everybody talks about all these different Ds, you know, 3D, 4D, 5D, whatever. And the truth is, it's always been here.
Yeah.
It's not something that's coming. Nobody is coming to rescue humanity, right? Nobody's going to do that. And yes, we're not alone in the universe. There's millions and millions of beings on millions and millions of planets. Some of them are physical, some of them are not physical. Some have the ability to be physical when they choose. Some have the ability to not be physical, but they're everywhere. They're here. They've been here for a long time. They're everywhere, right? But they're not going to do that. They're not going to show up and just land on a White House lawn and say, here's all your problems solved. Because technology doesn't solve a problem. It can actually exacerbate one if you don't have the consciousness to know whether to apply it or not, or how to apply it or not. The problem is not out there. If you want to find the problem, just go look in the mirror, right? The problem lies within us. The problem lies in who we think we are, what we think we are, what I need to achieve, what I need to accomplish, right? And it's this endless cycle of eating all the cupcakes instead of one at one time, right? Where you're just like, and you think, okay, I'm going to be satisfied after I eat this entire box of Reese's peanut butter cups. But the truth is you're not, right? It's this endless cycle, right? And you just keep going and going and going. And that because that's your identity, right? If I buy this, it'll make me happy. If I do this, it'll make me happy. The happiness I'm talking about is endless. It never ends. It's the end of all seeking. You're not seeking anymore. You're not looking for something, right? You're not trying to find something. You just stop and everything slows down. Time slows down. Thought slows down, right? Your entire universe, right? It's like living a lifetime in a second. And we all have that ability.
And just for context, if anyone's watching and they don't know, Kevin does a very what you would call technical. He's not like sitting on the mountain as a yogi, like cross-legged, and no, he works in a very logical, technical industry and world. So anybody that asks the question as well, kind of like what Animeta said, asking the question, what if the mind's empty? How can I do anything, or how will anything be? Become. You have this. I don't know what I even want to call it ability, but you're in this world, this dual world, very easily. Yeah. Well, I say easily. You could say for yourself. You work in a. You can share if you wish.
No, I do. I work in technology. I work for Microsoft.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm actually taking a break right now for like half an hour to talk to you. But um, I work in a technical field. But the truth is that that I love the company and I love the people I work with. I love my customers, but that doesn't define who I am or what I am. Right? It doesn't encapsulate me. It's a job, and I get paid for it. Right? And we have an opportunity, and this is the other thing that's really important. It took me a long time to learn this, right? When you're thinking, and this happens a lot to people, right? They think of somebody and the next thing you know, their phone rings, right? Or they have this thought that comes to their head about somebody and they go, what the hell is that about? Where did that come from, right? But every thought that we have has an effect, has an impact, right? And this is why it's really important to thank people and to be kind and to be loving and to help those, because you're really doing it to yourself, right? And when you understand that, and I don't mean understand it with the mind, when you live in a reality where everything is physical, but at the same time, it's just energy. Everything is moving, right? Things that appear to be physical. It was funny because I forgot to add this part, right? So I was with my friend in this Arnie's place, and the two beings popped in, right? And they said, you can stay or you can go. And, I made the choice to stay. And then I stood up and I was going to walk right through the wall of the restaurant.
Yes, I remember that.
And my friend put his hand on my shoulder and he said, no, no, don't try that one yet. Right? And the truth is, everything that is physical is just energy. There's actually more empty space than there is actually matter, right? And you have the ability to be in multiple locations at the same time. If there's a need, right, to go through something physical, you can, but it's not like you're going to do it just to show off. There's no point, right? But we're composed of the same stuff that everything else is composed of, right? It's no different. We're animating a vehicle. Some of the extraterrestrials, they call it a container, right? And they have the ability to transplant consciousness from one container to another. They have the technology to be able to do that.
Like stasis.
Our biggest problem is ourselves.
Yeah. So I don't think I've ever talked to you about this before, but you mentioned there you went a lot of time without eating, because that's something that is appearing here the last, I don't know how many, since April.
Dude, I'm eating now, man. I'm like eating weird stuff like Reese's peanut butter cups. Yeah. Like I said, I've been through the whole food thing where, I mean, it wasn't something I chose to do. It's just as after I had the experience, I just completely lost my appetite for anything. Like I had no appetite, and I was walking around seeing the color of violet on everything. I would fall asleep at night and I would go, oh, my police dog is staring at me from across the room. And I would open my eyes, and sure enough, he's looking at me, right? So you could hear people down the street. I could hear people 5 blocks away. It was like my consciousness was always aware, but my body was sleeping. Yeah. Right. And it took a while to kind of get used to that. But as a side note, right, I also lost my appetite. So it was weird because I wasn't eating food and I was so used to eating food. And I remember forcing myself to eat something. And the only thing that I could eat was turkey, mashed potatoes, and stuffing for some reason. And I ended up eating that for a while, and I was like, this doesn't, it was like I don't want to use like the analogy, you're in this high vibrational state, right? So you got to eat something to try to ground yourself. But I got to play with that, right? Like I got to play with, just drinking water and just having this unlimited amount of energy, right?
Yeah.
That just never stopped. It was like, people are like, dude, you need to eat some food. And I'm like, no, man, I don't need to eat shit. I'm fine. And of course my body reacted, right? You're going to lose weight. But the weird part about it is I was never hungry. And I realized, okay, I could do that, but what's the point? Am I trying to prove something? Am I trying to disappear? I already made the choice to stay in the physical.
Yeah.
Right. I had the opportunity to leave, but I was like, I can't leave. And, I realized at the time when I made the choice, because it was so new, it was like just after this thing happened to me, I'm like, my mind's like, I can't leave. Years later, with wisdom, I realized there was nowhere to go. I already was everywhere. Right. So the point is that the choice I was really given was to say you can move to another reality if you want and continue there, or you can continue to stay in this reality, right? And the choice I made was to continue to stay in reality because, I asked the question, why me? And then I said, does everybody get this? Because it's something you want everybody to have.
Yeah.
And you make the mistake right away of saying, you know in the back of your existence that you can't do that, but you still say it, right? You're like, I want everybody to have this, right? And then you realize, very quickly because of the experience that time is an illusion.
Yeah.
Even yourself is an illusion. Like this identity that you have is an illusion. You realize it all because in 1 second it's all gone, and all there is just this deafening quiet and peace. Right? and you just exist there from that point forward. But you still play, you know, um is it Anne? Is that Annie? Am I saying your name? Yeah, to
It's
your point,
animated.
yeah, so to your point, right? It doesn't change anything, right? When people have these experiences, it doesn't add anything. It's actually the process of peeling things away, right? If you take an onion and you peel it one layer at a time, eventually you're going to get down to the last piece. And when you let that go, where are you now? It's just
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. But anyway, I gotta go. I
Oh,
gotta
so good to see
get
you,
back
brother.
to work. But I'm glad you're doing well, my friend.
Oh, I'm great. I'm great. I'm in that process now. That's happened recently since April. It's just like all hunger is gone. There's just no hunger at all. And I'm right at the process now where I'm probably, I don't know how long it lasted for you, but I'm feeling like I'm just I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. I don't need to eat, but the body has lost weight, so I'm choosing to have like smoothies now where I've been just having like juice and water and tea, but I'm choosing that now recently because I just feel like I don't know if it's grounding, but the energy, like you said, the energy is just like non-stop, constant, doesn't go up, doesn't go down. It's just like pure, steady, stable, and I didn't
Yeah,
have.
well, I mean, play with that for as long as you need to play with it, man. I mean, you might come back and say, okay, I'm gonna have a sandwich, but I mean, at the end of the day, just go through the experience.
It's just happened. It happened. It wasn't something I was trying to do. It wasn't something I wanted. I did go to a conference where it happened, and it happened in the meditation. But it's just happened, and I'm just playing with it. I'm exploring. It's like you. I was like, I'm just like playing with it, see what happens, and yeah, it's crazy, fun.
Yeah, just have fun with it, man. I mean, it's not, it is what it is, I mean, that's kind of the way it works, man. We experience these other things, right? And then we assimilate it, and it's like, okay, the key here, though, and this is really important, right? Don't hold on to anything.
Yeah. At the beginning, I said that to myself. I'm not holding on to any identity or story or anything about this at all because I, in past, would have.
Yeah, man.
Yes. Very cool. So good to see you. Thank you, brother. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful to be in your wisdom. And yeah, fun to be back on here. Back.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to reconnect with you, man, and
Yeah.
and be able to say hi.
So good. So good. Thank you, brother. Ciao.
Okay, man. Bye.
Soon. Ciao, ciao. So I think my battery is going to leave as well. So this has been beautiful. What a beautiful gift. Beautiful surprise. Two beautiful gifts, Anameta and our brother Kevin. And what a nice, beautiful gift for day 305. So we're going to do this regular-ish. I don't know how that worked very well. The sound was all good on your end, Animeta. Everything was good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything worked well here, so that was cool. My mic nearly ran out in the middle of it, but we're good, and my battery's going. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Animeta. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everyone, for watching, for being here. We will be back, I'm sure, with this for whenever. Ciao, ciao. See you soon. So we will continue this daily journey. So if it's 305, it must be 60 days to go until our full year. Sorry, I should just check because I think some comments come in. I maybe missed because I was just going into pure. Hi, John. Let's see. Godness. Wow, Kevin and Martin. Oh my God, all these names. For godness. I love it. And I will be in Lisbon first week of September in this body. Amazing. Enjoy. Enjoy. Not so far away from here. We're a couple hours away. So, yes, thank you everyone. If you enjoy, what a beautiful gift that was. Anytime connecting with other beautiful beings and their wisdom is such a gift. What a gift today we received all around. But if you are enjoying these daily contemplations and quotes from the book, please Subscribe to the YouTube channel, like, comment, share it far and wide with those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. From the cicadas and this one, from my heart to yours. The divine in me sees, loves, and honors the divine in you. Namaste. We are